Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about toxic. We're going to be talking about toxic men on TikTok. Like their messaging is so stupid half the time. Here's our first candidate.
No such thing as toxic masculinity. You're either masculine or you're toxic. Now, someone who's toxic is typically a nice guy. Nice guys are passive aggressive. Nice guys are not willing to open doors. You know who the nice guys are, because if you're masculine, then you're chivalrous. You are willing to step in the gap to protect those who can't protect themselves. You are willing to be a gentleman, be a servant, and to be a savage.
Let's talk about exactly how wrong that statement all was. Okay, first of all, nice guys don't open doors for women. It's only masculine men do that. I open doors for women. I open doors for men. I don't wait for men to open doors for me. In fact, a lot of times we end up playing chicken because I'm opening the door and the man is like, no, after you. And I'm like, no, I opened it for you first. You go through. And they literally sometimes will not go through because I'm opening the door for them. Now, that's not because they're just really nice. I think that's because they're a bit toxic and can't handle the fact that a woman has opened the door for them. But I opened the door for other women. Other women have opened the door for me. So are we all masculine because we're opening a door for somebody? Because that's stupid. But the thing is, also, we are all masculine and we are all feminine. Men and women possess both traits. I have masculine traits. I'm not completely feminine, but I don't think anyone really is. I don't think anyone really should be. Honestly, women have to suppress our masculine side, and men end up having to suppress their feminine side because both sides are going to be like, nope, you can't do that. And it's like, what? So no, just because that guy didn't open the door for me doesn't make him a nice guy, but it also doesn't make him not masculine. He just didn't do that, which is okay, because I can open a door for my fucking self. So can you. This is so backwards. Like saying, oh, they're the nice guy, but in my experience, the men that are toxic exhibit toxic masculinity are people who are really like over the top. Like they're always talking about themselves and their accomplishments and their achievements. And they're always puffing themselves up. Oh, I'm so great. I'm God. But they're not. I mean, they're just flawed as everyone else. And those people need some serious therapy because they are not living in the true world, and they have to lie to themselves to get through every day, which is pretty damn sad. This next one is someone that responded to someone being someone's toxic masculinity, and I loved it. So I'm including this because her response is amazing.
Just fell in the store and hurt himself, and he began to cry. He said it hurt really bad. And then out of nowhere, a man appeared to give his unsolicited advice. At first I was terrified because nobody asked for it. He told my son to toughen up, that he wasn't in pain, and that boys don't cry. What I wanted to do was take that watermelon and shove it inside of his ass until it came out of his mother. But I didn't do that. I explained to him that a lot of men don't know how to express their emotions now because they were forced to suppress it at a young age. I also explained to him that toxic masculinity doesn't make you more of a man, but more so of an ass that everybody hates, but people just kind of tolerate. The sad reality is that some people aren't raising up little boys. They're raising robots, machines, or little soldiers that can help fight the demons in their hell-filled homes. But over here, little boys are human beings, and we're allowed to express ourselves. Listen, if you're bored, you could play Sudoku, you could play the lotto, you could play with your Please stop playing with my motherfucking kids. Okay.
Why would this man that's not related to this woman or her child come up to her in a store and say, little boys don't cry? You know, I've seen that happen in public. I've seen it. I believe her. I'm not saying I don't believe her. I believe her. I've actually seen that happen in public. And not all moms are able to stand up like that. Some people, we're all dealing with different shit, right? So I'm so glad that this mom had the wherewithal to stand up for her child. Good for her. And I think it's amazing because yes, boys have emotions. Emotions aren't just women's things. It's not just for women. Men have them too. Emotions are anger, sadness, loneliness, happiness, joy. All those are emotions. All of them. Men experience them as well. Women just, it's easier for us to express ourselves because we're allowed to. And men, for many, many years, have not been allowed to. I always think it's weird, regardless of the who's doing it. But I always think it's weird when people are in public and they cry and they're like, "I'm so sorry." Why are we sorry for that? Why are we sorry? Because what we're talking about is so emotional for us that it makes us cry. We need to stop apologizing for that shit. Don't apologize for being emotional. It's okay. And if you're a mom or a dad and you're telling your little boys that they're not allowed to cry and they need to toughen up, shame on you. You're doing a poor job raising your child and you really need to do better. Like this lovely lady has been doing. This is a lady who left her husband and didn't know how toxic her relationship was until after she left. It's very interesting. Let's watch.
Things that my soon-to-be ex-husband used to do that I didn't realize wasn't normal until after I left. When the Wi-Fi guy came to install our internet, he made me FaceTime him the entire time because he said that I might try and sleep with him, and then he still accused me of sleeping with him, saying that I could have slept with him before I called him or after I hung up the phone. Didn't tell me happy birthday until right before I fell asleep on my birthday, 2 months after we got married. Gaslit and manipulated me into not having a job and said, "I just want you to be a stay-at-home wife." And then when money problems would come up or any kind of issue with me would come up, he would complain about how I didn't have a job and how I'm just mooching off of him. Only came home and ate dinner with me maybe twice a week because he was at his parents' or his brother's house. He did not get me a Christmas present, but instead he gave me his debit card and said, "Don't know what you want, you got $50, go get yourself something nice." Complained and told me that I was folding his clothes wrong when he never ever did laundry, washed clothes, nothing. He told me over a year after we'd been married and I was pregnant that he wanted multiple wives, and then he was upset that I was upset about it. Got pissed when my parents bought us groceries one time. Told me that he didn't believe that our son was his son, and when I said get a paternity test, he said, "I don't even want to because it could be so close to my brother's DNA that you probably slept with that it would just say that it was mine and I would still never know." When the electricity went out on 2 of our rooms, including a bathroom, and our washing machine was broken, and I tried to get him to fix it for about 9 months, he told me that I should have been more grateful and that it was a test to me because people back in the olden days didn't have that kind of stuff, so I should have just been grateful that I had it in the first place, even if it was broken. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!
That's extremely fucked up. So let's go through this. So she had to FaceTime her husband the entire time, so he knew that she wasn't sleeping with the guy. I hate guys like this. I really do. This guy, he's more than just toxic, though. He's toxic on a whole nother level. This is abusive. This is control. If you find yourself in this situation, I know it could be hard. I've been in an abusive relationship that I ended up having to leave. It was my first marriage. And my husband was very violent, and he, cheated on me and did all kinds of things. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if her husband was cheating on her, because often they will accuse somebody of doing something that they're doing themselves. It's almost like they're tattling on themselves. It's really interesting. And it happens a lot in politics. So if you pay attention, lots of politicians they'll accuse the other side of the politician for doing something they're actually doing. And so their constituents also blame that other side. And I'm glad she left him. I'm so glad. I'm sad that she has a child with him because she has to stay The child will have to see him unless she's able to get full custody. And hopefully he doesn't abuse the boy. I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. Honestly, I wish her the best.
It doesn't mean 6'5", big, fighting everyone. The idea of toxic masculinity can't actually exist because masculinity in and of itself is not toxic. It's the opposite of toxic. It's noble, it's stoic, it's strong, it's a pillar for the family. It's the most beautiful thing that needs to be celebrated, encouraged, and implemented back into our boys, into society.
Being masculine too, it's being in tune with your feelings and not running away, taking charge, being a man, stepping up.
A masculine man could describe as like a rock. His emotions are so solid that nothing can move him. Women are so emotional, right? And we can like come at a man and with all of our emotions and all of our feelings and it's irrational and whatever and it's like all over the place. We come to him and he just solves those problems. He doesn't like ignite the fire. He doesn't make it worse. He doesn't like throw.
He doesn't run.
If your dude is like yelling at you and making your situation worse, that's not him being masculine. That's actually a really feminine trait. Femininity doesn't mean just wearing dresses and painting your nails. Femininity is spiritual softness, nurturing, motherly almost instinct to like take care of things, and it's not weakness. You and I are both really feminine and really strong.
There's so much about this. The extreme Christian girls. I don't like them. And the reason I don't like them is because they make women seem like we don't control our own minds, that we have such irrational thoughts. You know what? Men also have irrational thoughts. They do, because we all do, not just women. Men do too. Everyone does. Everyone has irrational thoughts about something. If you have a fear of flying, that's irrational. It is, because it's the safest form of travel. I have that irrational thought. My husband has that irrational thought. We both have the same irrational thought. Although now that I'm on Zoloft, it's easier for me to fly. I actually enjoy it now, but my husband doesn't. So he still has that irrational fear. But do I think less of him because of it? No, because we all can experience that. I do not think toxic masculinity. I love how she's like, it can't be toxic. Really? Because femininity can be toxic too. So, like hers. The fact that, we come at them with all our irrational emotions and they just want to fix it. I mean, she's making men to be out this like hero, this knight in shining armor. They're just there to protect us and we're just the best because of it. And that women, we're just damsels, but we're strong, but we need them to, protect us and make us better. No, we fucking don't. I choose to be married to my husband. I don't have to be married to my husband. I choose to be. I love him and I want to be with him. He's great. But I've left 2 other husbands before because they weren't the right ones and they weren't what I wanted and I wasn't willing to settle anymore. Basically, this is telling me is that they refuse to look at what's really happening and they're like, this is God's message. This is God's, divine intervention. No. You probably are married to a toxic man and you're trying to justify it, which sucks for you. But then they use religion as some kind of cudgel, And it's like, oh yeah, if you're Christian, then you have to think exactly this way. Good thing I'm atheist. And that way I can think any way I fucking want.
Men are not aroused by dad bods. That's a bunch of bullshit. Do not listen to women when they say that they like dad bods.
I think that if your approach to women is you don't know what you want, I know what you want, then maybe hitting the gym more often isn't going to solve your dating problems.
If some woman says she likes a dad bod, I don't find any reason not to believe her. And that guy was the first guy, not attractive to me at all. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't like that. I don't like guys that are overly ripped. I think it looks bad. I don't think it looks good at all. I don't like women that are overly ripped. I think it looks bad. I think it doesn't look good at all. However, just because I don't think it looks good doesn't mean they shouldn't do it. I don't give a shit. Do what you want. But the thing is, not all women have to like that. And I think it's weird that all this toxic masculinity, all of them assume that women are just straight. All women are straight, but they're not. Lots of women vary on that scale. A lot of women have straight relationships, but are also bi or pan or whatnot. You know, there are women that are lesbians and they don't want anything to do with men. And that's okay. They don't have to. They have a choice.
Interested in marrying a girl with a high body count.
But
it's like a total deal breaker. If the fact that I'm not a virgin, for example, is a deal breaker for some girl, like that's totally fair.
When you say high body count, what do you consider a high body count?
If I'm looking for a wife, I don't want her to have been with like more than 5 to 7 guys personally. Why are you laughing over there?
Yeah, do you guys have?
I mean, just
I
be
think
single
it's
forever.
very
I don't know, man. Like, it's,
Well, no, we live in California. Like a lot
Yeah.
of, I'm very rare. Like my standards are very different from a lot of guys here.
No, I totally
you know?
understand that.
So like most guys here probably aren't going to care as much as I do.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I think that I'm just thinking of it in my own perspective, and it's just like I'm so far beyond that. Like that far, like that thought, like that just doesn't even cross my mind anymore.
What doesn't cross your mind?
Like body count or like how many people you've been with, like that is so just not in my range of thought because I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking of people like as a person and how they are, and I don't care about who they've been with or like what they've done in their past.
She has the right outlook. You gotta look at somebody as a whole person, not as, oh, you've slept with 9 people. Ooh, looks like we can't have a relationship because I want someone with a lower body count. What? I keep hearing these toxic men talk about, oh, her body count needs to be low. Why? Why? That's stupid. Like, sorry, I think there's nothing wrong with premarital sex. There just isn't. You should do it as an adult and it should be consensual. Absolutely. But there's nothing wrong with premarital sex and there's nothing wrong with casual sex because sex is just sex sometimes. And that's okay. You don't have to be in love with the person to enjoy sex. You just don't.
Men don't listen to women. This isn't to trigger you. It's so that you understand a lot about male psychology. The female attribute that is the most underutilized is influence. As a woman, you don't have to tell people what to do. You influence people's best decisions for themselves. When you start to become very hyper masculine and very aggressive and you're trying to get him to do these things, you're pulling yourself out of your femininity and trying to tell him what to do, which doesn't feel so good. Because now you're having a guy that you need to tell what to do. Congratulations, you got yourself a child. You're taking away the opportunity for him to do it for himself and for you. It's like when you tell him how much you love and how much more you can give him sexually if he were to listen to you after each day. You're not telling him, I want you to listen to me. You're showing him that he can get more, and you're giving him an opportunity to develop his character. So not only are you giving him a platform by which he can improve his character as a man, you are maintaining your feminine frame, and together you guys are growing and building together as man and as woman.
This guy. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to tell a man what to do because I'm going to be bossy and then now have reduced him to a child. So you're trying to say that I'm emasculating him by telling him I need him to do something. But then, no, I should just wait around and wait for him to do it on his own. And eventually when he does it, praise him for it? No, that's messed up. Men don't listen to women because they're self-important. That's usually why they don't listen to women, due to their own self-importance. And you know what's funny? It's if men just tried a little harder, just a little bit, honestly. Like the whole reason I think this 4B movement that came from South Korea, and if you don't know about it, it's basically the 4Bs. It's not having sex with men, not being married, not having children with them, not having relationships with them, you know, that kind of thing. And you know what? If that's what a woman wants to do, I mean, nuns do it. Nuns do it, and we don't say, oh, downfall of society because a nun became a nun. Because guess what she doesn't do? She doesn't get married. She doesn't have a relationship with men. She doesn't have children. And she's celibate for her entire life. Why is that okay? But when a woman just decides to take herself out of this fucked up situation and decide that she doesn't want to do it, that's her right. That is her right. That, to me, that's feminism right there, is giving grace to other women to make their own choices for themselves. And the moment, like, I hate the militant feminists that are like, oh, you have to only do things one way. No one likes them. No one likes them.
Here are 3 reasons why some ladies are so upset with the drizzle movement in the soft guy era. Number 1, some ladies depend on these men for financial support. Oh, yes. See, what a lot of ladies don't tell you is that they need other men's paychecks and other men's financial support just to make their monthly expenses. See, they don't tell you guys that. You just see the aftermath of someone sliding them the money, but they don't show you how they got it. So the next iteration of the drizzle soft guy era is turning off the tap, turning off the money. Ladies know that. They're smart. So if the money turns off, their bills go kaput. Number 2, a lot of ladies don't want to face the reality of how silly they've sounded for years and years with these outrageous preferences. You're holding up a mirror. They're not liking what they see in the mirror. They're not liking that they look wild because the things that we're saying are only the things that they've been saying. And they don't like it. They feel hurt by it. So they don't want to say, man, we need to change. We need to hold ourselves accountable. So they get upset. And number 3, because this movement is worldwide, it's not a small clutch of men or men of color or men in the United States. It's worldwide. You got cats in the UK, cats in France, cats in Australia. This thing is going worldwide, and that shows you that things have gotten out of hand. Now, ladies, if y'all want to send a few of y'all representatives to sit down at the table with some of our representatives and see how we can achieve balance back in dating, so be it. If not, let the drizzle continue. Soft guy era continues.
I really hate this drizzle. It just makes me want to throw up every time I hear someone talk about it. I don't know why. It sounds disgusting to me. But okay. So basically, the toxic men are saying, well, it's because you need to change, ladies. We're fine. We don't need to change. You do. No. See, the thing is, while, yes, sometimes women do stalk people, majority of the people that are stalking women are men. Like I say, in the 90 percentile. The majority of violence against women are men. So explain to me how women need to change again, because we're being victimized by men because they don't like that we do not depend on them anymore. Yeah, maybe there's some women that get all their bills paid by their boyfriends, but if you're in a committed long-term relationship with your husband, like I am, my husband has a good job. I work, but I work, for myself, so I can't get fired from anywhere. And I sell clothes online, right? Do I make a full-time income with that? No. I mean, I couldn't live on my income. So to this man, I'm mooching off my husband. But how? How am I mooching off my husband? We are in a partnership where I do certain things, he does certain things. He likes his job. He enjoys his work. And it's, I help clean the house. I help keep the house and help cook, and he helps cook because I do work. So I'm not doing all the domestic duties, but neither is he. We share a lot of them, but it's like, this is the first relationship that I've had a true partnership. Whereas he will do dishes, he will cook, he will do laundry, and it's not all my burden, because all my other relationships, I would have to work full time, come home, do all the cooking, do most of the cleaning, and it was literally all me. How fair is that? And I think that is what we're revolting from. I think that is what women are revolting from. They don't want that life. They don't want to come home after they worked full time, or just be stuck at home and not have any choices. You know, these men are trying to take the choices away from women. That's what they're doing. That's why we have the abortion bans. That's why we have men trying to take away birth control away from women, and women take birth control for a variety of reasons, not just to not get pregnant. Like myself, I have to take a birth control not to not get pregnant, but so I won't bleed constantly because my body decided to go into menopause. And if you don't like hearing that, I'm sorry, that's normal. And we need to normalize this shit. Women go through menopause at a certain age. I'm 48 years old. It happens. But we have to keep it quiet. We can't talk about our bodily functions because, the men are going to get disgusted by it. Why? That's stupid. It's normal. It's natural. It's men like this that are the problem, that are trying to systematically remove our rights as women. So I think I have one more. Same guy.
So guys, I'm traveling internationally right now, and I just want to say that the passport bro era movement is in business. And cousin, business is a booming. And I mean that. I'm not talking about one sub-genre of men, one subset of men. I'm not talking about one race or one socio-economic group. I'm talking about wealthy men. I'm talking about men who make the average. I'm talking about men who are right in the middle. I'm talking about men who are in their 20s, men who are in their 40s, men who are in their 50s. This is a serious movement. And when you see it on the ground for yourself, and when you see that these guys it ain't about intercourse, it's about trying to put a family together, and they're really asking real questions that we ask over here and we get hated for, and people are answering in great detail. Well, let's just say that the passport bro era is shining.
I mean, men have been importing wives for a long time. Like, it's not a new thing at all. And it's like this whole passport bros thing. I mean, you're going to countries where the economy is not like America. You're coming as an American with your American money and be like, hey, I want a wife to, take back with me. There are women that are going to do that because they want out of their country because it's not good. I'm not sure what countries he's going to, but there's a variety of countries where women are not treated well. And of course, like if I was in a country that I wasn't treated well and an American man came and he didn't seem that bad, I might just go with him because it might be better than what I got here. Right? But it's not because those women are somehow better than American women. It's just that they're in a different circumstance than American women. And I want all women across the world to be free. I do. I want them to be free of oppression. I hate it when anybody, in fact, is being oppressed. I think it's disgusting and it needs to stop immediately for everyone. But I know it won't, and it's gonna take a big, huge fight for that. But I mean, these men, they're not helping. Well, they're really not helping their situation, but they're really, a lot of them are being, in my opinion, it's damaging to women because they're perpetuating the stereotype that we just mooch off of men and we don't think for ourselves and we need them. And it's like, technically we don't need men. And one guy was trying to say that, the 4B movement in South Korea is because South Korean women, gay rights aren't really a thing there. And I don't know about that. And I probably should have looked that up before I even started talking about it. But it's like, and I'll probably look into that to see what the validity in that is. But even if that is the reason why the 4B movement started, fair. I mean, honestly, fair. But It also will resonate with women that aren't gay, that are straight, and just are tired or so tired of accepting the bare minimum from men. When we tend to give everything. Not all of us. Yeah, there's always going to be exceptions to those rules. You can never make a blanket statement and have it be completely true, because it's never, ever true. Men, you got to do better, though. Men who think this way, you need to do better. And you desperately need some therapy. And I know therapy's hard to come by, and not all insurance coverage covers it. But if you do have mental health benefits in your thing, and you have the ability to get to a psychiatrist, psychologist, a counselor of some kind, I highly recommend you do that, because you are not looking at the world in the right way. And I don't mean the right way because it's my way. I mean, women should not be demonized. We've been demonized since the beginning. I mean, read the Bible. The Bible demonizes women immediately. Oh, because Eve ate the apple. Apples are fucking delicious, okay? They're fucking great. And it's like, Eve ate the apple, so she got all the knowledge. Why wouldn't you want all the knowledge? And it's like, that demonized us from the very beginning, like, of that religion, because that's not the beginning of time, obviously. And many religions demonize women. Many religions control women. And I honestly don't think religion's a good thing anymore. I used to think religion is okay, but so often it gets co-opted as a weapon against women, against other people. I think we need to move past that, and we need to, as a society, say, no, I'm no longer going to accept that is the reality. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be spiritual or anything like that. I don't give a shit, honestly, what you believe in. But the thing is, I do give a shit if what you believe in is being pushed on everyone else. It's like these, extreme Christians that want to put their religious beliefs on literally majority of the country, when majority of the country does not agree with them. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what your thoughts are down below. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, if you're new, subscribe.